You're listening to Silver Moments with Dr. Marsha Baltimore.
Okay, thank you for listening. Bob wants to talk to Paul Kai.
Well, Bob, thanks for calling in. I know the relationship management term is used pretty loosely these days in the financial world. We still continue to consider ourselves an older style bank where the relationship manager is involved day to day with their clients. Online, we have to offer online because it's convenient for a lot of people, but we do talk to our clients when they call in. They don't have an 800 number to call. They have our direct numbers. We understand the relationship, and we'd be happy to talk to you about your concerns and how we can potentially help you.
Okay, Bob, I do appreciate that very much. I didn't want to appear completely negative because obviously you seem to be doing a lot right, as the doctor was saying. At the same time, you've got an uphill battle. Right now, the banking industry, of all industries, whether it be the relationship to the fall of our economy, which everybody admits a lot of the problem was caused by the banks, losing the information that is entrusted to banks, some of the biggest banks in the country. I'm thinking of Bank of America, Wells Fargo. They're losing millions of records that people have entrusted them with their credit cards and their Social Security number, and they're not providing security. And finally, with this old-fashioned customer service, which I think, Bob, you're obviously involved with, I mean, if things are different, that is true. But, I mean, for a long time, a lot of the banks were farming things offshore. And you would be talking with somebody in India about a bank account here in Los Angeles. And it seemed ridiculous to me. And that was done, I think, strictly as a cost-saving measure. Okay, go ahead. I didn't mean to speak too much, but I want to tell you, I think you get an uphill battle because the perception of the banking industry...
Okay, let's see what he has to say. Now, 1 minute.
Okay.
I couldn't agree with you more, Bob. I think there's a lot of concerns out there with clients' records and whatnot. We do keep our institution small and streamlined, and we know our relationships. We want to make sure that we have the right people banking with us, and we're the right fit for them. We don't have bricks and mortar on every corner.
Or in the grocery store.
Yeah.
That says that the client has to keep their own records, at least year-end.
We just with record keeping, I think all the banks try to
But
keep
the
them as
client
secure as
also has to
possible.
be responsible for her or his own records.
Right, and I think your concern was driven more by the fact that a lot of information had been shipped overseas as a cost-cutting measure to have a customer service, in India or wherever they may have, chose. I've never experienced that type of environment. First Republic, we do have a client service group. They happen to be on.
It's all local.
Everything is local. And quite frankly, the majority of, my clients they can contact me directly. They'll contact Paul. They'll, again, the relationship is very old-fashioned. You have, a point of contact with, for example, for anything,
any of your finance needs. I think going back to, again, we continually will talk about relationships, but Bob, for example, if you're looking at refinancing with maybe another institution, you might be siloed off to a different department. Or if you're looking at, you want somebody to review your investment portfolio, again, you might be handed off to a different department. Whereas the way we do it, and we feel we do it right, is we keep it all within one relationship. And as the relationship manager, they handle all the team. They put it together, and you're not passed off to India or Philadelphia. You're handled in-house here.
Okay, that does make a lot of sense. And one thing that you said, Doctor, that I totally agree with, is it is the client's responsibility, it's the customer's responsibility.
Yes, that's right.
But at the same time, the customer has got a right to ask questions about the bank. The bank certainly, if you're looking for money, and I think, Bob, you would correct me if I'm wrong here, if you're looking for money, you're looking for anything from the bank, you're going to want information about me or your customer. You're going to look into their history. You're going to look into their credit rating. I think the customer should be able to do the same thing with a bank. I mean, how am I sure that you're credible enough?
You want a secure bank, in other words.
Operated?
That's a good question.
I think, you can visit our website at firstrepublic.com. There's, you'll find out how our financial history is, how long we've been in place. We have our credit ratings there. We're publicly traded.
I agree. It's just due diligence. I mean, you've had some people that were, I'm sure were very well trusted, whether it be Bernie Madoff or some very large banks that are no longer here.
There's no Bernies in this room. I want to discuss now the question that we have to move to a little bit, which is this a good time to refinance? You would want to talk about that, ladies and gentlemen?
I'm sure.
For a minute or so?
Quite frankly, yes, but every individual has, their own particular situation. I think it's a matter of let's take a look at it. I know rates have come down, and for some people, they've had some.
Do the numbers, in other
Yeah.
words. Yes, that's what we just did.
Yeah.
And when I found out I could own something free and clear in the county of Los Angeles and pay less for the other building than I was doing both of them together,
Right.
I couldn't believe it. And that's what we did.
Right.
That takes a very smart banker, I want to say. I could not have figured that out myself. So if you know what you're looking for and you can explain that to the banker, you're ahead of the game.
Right, and I think we can touch base on that a little bit more.
Okay, thank you very much. We have Mikhail playing his horn for us.